Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Championship Sunday here at Riptide 2023. We are here at the tail end of the Collegiate Finals. It's Rod. It's my wonderful friend, Last. Last, talk to me. How you feeling, my man?
I'm feeling pretty great. I saw the players warming up this morning as I came in. I kind of stood back as the ghost in the back row,
Yes.
watching them get ready for this crew battle. Because, like you said, it's Championship Sunday. It all comes down to this. The players, they were lucky enough to get a slot this Sunday.
Yes.
After some unfortunate scheduling conflicts. Sure. Friday night, they all had singles, and after yesterday, a lot of them did very well in singles.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
So I'm kind of glad we took that early break too, just to make sure that these guys could do their best here.
Yes.
And now we're here Sunday morning.
Yeah,
Time to find out who the champion is.
100%. I think it's W's all across the board, no matter which way you spin it. I mean, I know one way we could look at it is like, scheduling conflicts, which happens at every major. Nobody, of course, is exempt from that. But I think the biggest turnaround is that you get to go home with even more bragging rights, which is what we talked about on Friday. Like, hey, I know you did well this weekend, but you know what? I went with my collegiate team, and I got to play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Not very many players get to say that they get to play in that coveted Sunday spot. So, yeah, very excited to see what we're going to get here. Of course, if you're just tuning in, we had a phenomenal showing from these teams on Friday. Just every which way you could turn and look at it, the players played absolutely out of their mind, from JJ to some of the teams from Michigan. But we got our final teams here last. Let's talk about it.
We got Michigan State University facing off against Northwood University.
Yes.
Now, actually, both these schools are in Michigan, so the state itself can definitely, they're actually pretty close to home already. But they'll head back home. Mm-hmm. They got a lot of bragging rights. They're like, all right, other states, collegiate programs, y'all got to step up. You want to match Michigan.
Yes, you do.
So we'll see if any other state starts to challenge them. But it looks like we got our two starters up there as well.
Okay.
On the side of Northwood University, that looks like Zai stepping in, who is actually a recent signing for them,
nice.
Hailing from Louisiana. I do believe they are a remote student. So
good.
Still staying at home in Louisiana, but attending Northwood University all the same. They are rocking the Palutena, been a very strong player in Louisiana since early Ultimate, and Palutena's been a very strong character since early Ultimate.
Sound like a match made in heaven, quite figuratively and literally there, yes. So that's going to be an awesome thing to see. And, yeah, just kind of circle back around. Michigan has been strong for a very long time. I remember,
Absolutely.
traveling up to Michigan in, early Smash 4 and just seeing how powerful the scene was, with Ryuga and, Low One, I believe, is from Michigan as well, too. Smasher 1001, Zenodo.
Ooh, yeah.
Rayquaza, for those of us who remember that name. I mean, there's just a lot of just killers out there. And it looks like they've passed the mantle down, too, to this next set of players as well, too. And this time with the collegiate backing. So we'll see what the career in the future is going to look like for these players. But before we get to that, of course, we have to get through what's about to go down here. And, friends, I can't stress enough, this is Collegiate Finals Championship Sunday, just to add to the party that is this wonderful portion of bracket. Rydra and Zai. This is going to be awesome.
On the side of Michigan State University, I didn't get the chance to go because I was so busy focused on Zai.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, Rydra representing MSU. That is the highest placing player in this singles bracket from any of these colleges.
Nice.
So Rydra did fantastic, made it all the way to 17th place in Ultimate Singles out of over 700 players. They are going to be rocking that Ridley. And, seeing what they can do against Palutena. But Palutena always kind of been a mid to low tier slayer.
Ooh.
So we'll see what Ridley can really get going here as we kick this off 12 stocks to 12.
12 stocks to 12, that's right. It's all about teamwork and synergy here. The great thing about the collegiate format is that we run these crew battles, which really makes the teammates have to lean into that camaraderie aspect that sometimes doesn't get enough light shine on it here. But to shine some light right here on how this matchup is going to go early on with the frame 5 Nair, it's looking real good right now. Of course, really kind of without options when it comes to recovering. Slightly off the mark with the auto reticle, but explosive flames. You might want to watch out, get those wings singed.
And we got to be careful with stuff like that because if you have a character that can force options, especially defensive options like that air dodge, things start to go very poorly very quickly. So you see, Palutena throwing out that explosive flame and then Ridley immediately forced to air dodge down towards Blaster. He can still make it back, but if you get to a position where Palu then starts running off and daring, well, it goes poorly. And the fact that Rydra already up at 155% going to be losing the stock very, very soon. Meanwhile, Zai only at 12. Well, this is about as good of a start for Northwood as you could hope for.
Well, yeah. Oh, my goodness. And a good enough finish as well. Look at the down tilt in the ledge. Now, usually we see that move for trapping. Of course, Palutena and the center were kind of cut from a similar cloth when it comes to ledge trapping. The down tilt, catching the air dodge, rinse and repeat until you just mentally can't take it anymore and you fall apart. But that time just getting the meteor knockback of that down tilt and being able to close it out.
That's not even to mention the two-frame ability of that down tilt. Like,
man,
that thing hits low.
Yes, it is a very, very good move. Kind of goes back to what you talked about before, Palutena just kind of being the lower to mid-tier killer. But, you know, if there's certainly a will, there's a way. There's a reason why, you know, Ridley was thrown out here in the beginning of this, you know, crew battle set. So let's see if there's a method to the madness. Nothing off the tilts. Okay, some of those tilts obviously really slow on Ridley, but very potent in the corner.
And that opportunity was kind of what Ryder's been waiting for, but a reversal out of the corner from Zai is going to put him once again in danger. Dash attack in, that invincible shield, pushing Ryder even farther, all the way lapped in percent, 95, and Zai looking to take a second stock before they've even been pieced up.
Oh my goodness, and every time they get close, again, they just get burned. Explosive flame right there on the coverage, nice. Force you to recover at the ledge. Here comes the mini game, back throw. Shouldn't be enough, really, of course, a big boy, despite his, you know, kind of skinnier frame.
Well, the crazy thing is that Ridley looks like he should be a super heavy, but he ain't up there yet.
No,
he's just a big body that gets, you know, smacked up.
That's right. Okay, trying to force their way in towards center stage here with dash attack. Again, another explosive flame. That one just raw right in your face. And, of course, getting them done right here. Not the strongest start right here from MSU, if I may say so myself, of course. But I don't want to take anything away from them just yet. Maybe this is all a part of the plan. We play the slow game. We just start sandbagging. Then I start pressing the right buttons. No back throw. They was able to mash out of that, even at 96%. Talk about some young hands up there.
And, like, we're seeing off the bat, Zai, maybe even three-stocking Ryder here, but there are many players on MSU's roster that could do the exact same thing to Zai or, you know, a couple of other people on the Northwood roster. Like, this is far from over, even if Zai closes it out here, which, you know what, Rod, he's looking to do that. And, you know, while I'm saying MSU is not out of this yet, a three-stock to start off a crew battle, you're never unhappy with that if you're Northwood University.
Yeah, I know that's right. The stronger the start, the better. I think off these back airs as well, too. Nice, great spacing. Exactly what you want to see here, especially as these matches start to trail on. You know, we talk about characters that are very good in all points of the match, but sometimes the characters that become impossible to do it when they have the lead don't get enough, you know, publicity. And I think Palutena is kind of one of them in that regard. You know, I mean, she plays such an aggressive game.
Oh, there it is,
yes.
Untechable.
Yeah, she plays such an aggressive game in the beginning of the match, but when she gets the lead, she just becomes impossible. Spacing around with back here, you know, with that being as safe as it is on shield and dash attack, and always knowing how to play to your weaknesses. Is that counter off stage? Ridley in some trouble out there.
In a lot of trouble, and we're not going to be seeing any more of that character. You got to go back to the team huddle and figure out what your next move is, because Zai, still fresh, still three stocks. Northwood won't even have to consider a counter pick for a while. That's not good.
No, that is anything but pleasant right here. Yeah, what a strong opening, I think, in that last match, too. Again, Palutena and Ridley, I would imagine there was a method to the madness. I mean, there's obviously the double-blind pick. We don't know who's going in. We have studied all the players on the team. That's what you have to do at the bare minimum, but you don't really know sometimes who's going to go in into some of those final moments. And, you know, I think that right there was just a match made in heaven.
Yeah,
I mean, Palutena, Ridley, I mean, that's just like Palutena, kid in a candy store.
You came out on top in that double-blind pick for sure.
Yeah.
But interestingly, I wonder if Ryder was sent out first after the double blind to try and counter J-Jaw. Because for the vast majority of these crew battles, Northwood University has started with their team captain, J-Jaw.
Right.
J-Jaw, the Kirby player. But they sent in Zai instead. And you know what? Palutena may be one of the best characters to open up a crew battle with.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to get caught by a super scary matchup unless, like, maybe the enemy team starter is a Diddy Kong or something along those lines. But stepping up for Michigan State University, that is going to be Suspect sitting down at the setup, a Kazuya player to be feared.
Oh, yes, absolutely. When you hear the name Suspect, you know things are about to get real ugly on stage. And I'm really happy to see them throw down right now. I'm not exactly sure what their singles run has been looking like or if it's come to an end, but I know the collegiate format right here is where they're really going to turn up. I think both of these two characters, strong anchors, strong middles, can definitely clean up some mess. But Palutena right now, one thing we just can't ignore, the elephant in the room, is that, you know, NU, they got the lead right now, bro.
Yeah, a three-stock lead at that, and I'll take the opportunity to correct myself very slightly. I mixed up Rydra and Suspect. It was actually Suspect that got 17th in the overall singles bracket. He's our highest placer overall, and with a Kazuya like this, I think we all know why. MSU needs to make up some distance, and Kazuya is the perfect character to do so. Zai's got to play absolutely perfectly here.
That's right, practically perfect right here. This, unfortunately, just there's no room for error. you overextend, you whiff anything. But I think in that same turn of breath, when we talk about Palutena, she can scrap a little bit. No, she can come through with that jab, and down tilt, of course, always a problem for all the FGC characters when they're trying to recover. But the fact remains the same. She's going to kind of play this sort of hands-off sort of play style. A lot of dash attack, a lot of explosive flame to keep them at bay. And you bet your bottom dollar, a lot of back air. But my goodness, ain't a back air in the world strong enough to save it right there from the electric. Sending a sky high.
Oh, no.
The elbow time.
Suspect swinging off the bat as soon as Zai comes right back down from that Angel platform, and he is doing his darndest to bring this back for MSU. Zai not going to be able to recover that, and in just 2 short minutes, their lead has almost fully evaporated. Suspect doing it huge for MSU, not going to get the down smash off the down throw this time.
Okay, looking for the crumple in the corner, letting them know you aren't the only one with corner pressure. Okay, this is fighting games one-on-one. You get a guy like Kazuya Mishima with the right positioning. Could be a bad time. Nice. God fist, up air. Very smart right there. Frame 4 up air. Very easy for sharking underneath these platforms. Kazuya glowing red right now. Immediate get-up attack. Not wanting to deal with that down tilt. I talked about it before. Again, Palutena, that right there is kind of recalling versus these fighting games. In the corner, auto reticle. Oh, we can shoot.
We know, Rod, exactly what's going through Suspect's head. It's how can I run at you and then just downbeat.
That's right.
We are going to slam your head into that stage. And Zai recognizing that too is just like, stay away, stay away, stay away, get away from me.
Oh.
And there it is. That's the game. Another 3-stock to fire back from the first one. And we're right back to 9-9.
That was looking like some Tekken 2 right there. Angel versus Devil. Great stuff. Suspect, of course, bringing this thing back as even as humanly possible, and I'm loving that. Was a little worried, especially to be this late into the bracket, to be this early here on Championship Sunday, to get that early 3-stock. That right there is not the start you want, but hey, like I mentioned before, both of those 2 characters, anchors, great characters in the crew battle, and Kazuya Mishima cleaning up the mess that Palutena made.
Yeah, I mean, like, not the best start with Roger. Roger probably kicking himself there. There's going to be another crew battle after this. This is a best of 3 overall, just to remind everybody in the audience. But not a great start for MSU. Suspect, though, doesn't care. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean a thing. Comes right back in. 3-stock Zai in exchange. And we're going to have to see who Northwood wants to send in to try and combat this Kazuya. And you know what? I'm thinking about a J-Jaw, but that's not J-Jaw stepping up to the plate. That looks like So Good Pop coming up, who is going to be a Wii Fit trainer player. So
I like this pick.
Yeah, I was about to say, I do like this pick coming through from Northwood, because this is a character that is perfectly fine with being cornered, perfectly fine with being on the opposite side of the stage of their opponent, and, just header, sun salutation, header.
Oh, yeah, and then there's going to be points in time in a match where you're going to be equally as terrified for one side as you are for the other. I think once deep breathing is intact, Wii Fit Trainer kind of turns into a DLC character of her own. And, a lot of those wonkier hitboxes, I'm going to use that word real nicely, wonkier hitboxes like on her tilts and some of her aerials for sure.
You see how fast that back air is?
Back air is absolutely insane, and that should be enough to keep even a character with auto turnaround on their toes. You got to make sure you're facing the right way versus Wii Fit, because that character will make you pay. Yeah,
you try and cross up a Wii Fit trainer on shield, or you land wrong against her, she just pops that back air. And with deep breathing on too, you talked about it, that hits hard. Yes, right back on small battlefield though, so we're going to try and see if we can do what Zai could not and take at least 1 stock off this Kazuya here.
Okay. Well, let's see how it all unfolds. It's going to be a very daunting task. My goodness, getting choked up early. All going to heal a little percent too. Forgot about that aspect of Wii Fit Trainer as well. A lot of healing, a lot of disengaging, to go back to what you talked about off stage, and just spending a lot of time away, but maybe not far enough. Okay, gets the electric. Okay, there's the forward tilt. Now, of course, off stage, going to not burn the air dodge here this time. Very smart. The recovery system, as great as it is for Kazuya, can be exploited, especially for a character like Wii Fit Trainer.
Oh, but this corner pressure from So Good Pop has been fantastic here. Pops the deep breathing, now has it active. Suspect got to get past him on this ledge and is yet to be able to do so successfully. But while he's glowing red, that's going to be his best opportunity. The glow's gone. So Good Pop has successfully done what Zai could not and neutralized one of Kazuya's biggest kill options.
Oh, yeah. Always got to keep that in the back of your mind, all the various ways that Mr. Mishima can just put you in a coffin.
175%. Mr. Mishima's got a lot of opportunity with that rage, but he's not going to be able to make use of it, as that is that lightning quick bear when you are behind We Fit Trainer and Shield.
That's
now,
right.
14% already done off of one header. He's still got deep breathing active. And that was, Rod, you saw one nair. I saw one nair. I see 93%.
Yeah, see, something that's not looking too good right now for my man Kazuya here. Suspect, of course, is really struggling, and I'm loving the switch here. We Fit Trainer, of course, a strong character in the collegiate format, but one thing I cannot ignore sometimes is their ability to maybe spend a little bit too much time off stage. Yes, it is a wonderful spot, but you have to understand Kazuya has some of the best aerials in Smash, especially in terms of frame data and safety.
Yeah, the big problem with Kazuya's aerials isn't the aerials themselves, it's that slower jump squat than everybody else. He's got to get into the air to make use of them, but once he's already in there, especially if you're the one who put him there, he can just start throwing them out. But speaking of throwing things out, So Good Pop with the shield pressure immediately into just the F smash to close out that stock.
My goodness, that right there just was completely terrifying. Wow. Okay, in the corner, great patience here now. 2 stocks online. Of course, not looking for anything too crazy. Understanding I have to maintain this lead as long as possible. Trying to shark from underneath with these up airs again. Quick frame 4 option. Get it out of here, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what So Good Pop was waiting for, too. He was like, all right, Suspect, you're going to want to get aggressive here in just a second. I'm just going to patiently wait, crouch down even to low profile some lasers if you try and send them my way. Gets a grab in the corner. That's going to be another offstage situation for Suspect. Got to find a way off the ledge, man, but he does it with a quick little rage drive.
That's right, just clearing space and looking to reset neutrals as fast as possible. I completely understand. I mean, you get that lead, and I think, We Fit probably a little bit more than Kaji just becomes very difficult. Love that, looking for the crumple, the roll behind into the F tilt. Again, you have to watch the hitboxes that We Fit bring to the table. Suspect shaking his head, doesn't seem to be too particularly fond about how that wrapped up, but hey, kind of like the 2 different aspects of the gym. You got like the yoga guy and you got the buff guy that's working out. Yoga guys win today.
The CrossFit guys are not happy with that result.
No.
But So Good Pop fantastically played there. And We Fit Trainer's tilt, very difficult to deal with if you don't know exactly what you're doing, because in most situations, they're going to hit in front and behind, going to be covering so many options. So, So Good Pop standing in the corner, you don't want to let him get deep breathing, so you see him start to charge up the really slow one, but you forget that he can cancel out of it in an instant, just quickly pops that roll, gets right behind Mr. Mishima, pops the tilt, finishes it out. Great stuff from So Good Pop. So we've seen, 3 stocks go each team's way, but now that the dust is settled and we're starting to get towards the end of this crew battle, as Michigan State has 6 stocks remaining, I only see 2 more players from them.
That's right, and I think these last 2 players are really going to have to, come through and step up in a really big way. And I'm really glad we talked about the double 3 stock. I think that's just a good sign. I mean, on one side you can look at it as, we haven't practiced enough, but I'm actually in the camp of believing that both sides are very, very practiced. I think the double 3 stock, of course, is a sign of, something great to come. But then you also had the matchup check. You're like, okay, Kaiser came through, tore it up. There's probably another player on our team that we wanted to send in, but let's send in the We Fit. It's like if there's ever a character that kind of cool them off, douse those flames, is going to be this, because we cannot allow Suspect to have a lot of momentum going into this crew battle. So We Fit, of course, still on that final stock, but now we got a Falco on the stream, and this is going to be scary.
Yeah, so this is what I was about to talk about. We see a lot of strategy coming through from both of these teams. So Good Pop, pieced up Suspect a little bit, cleared out that Kazuya, but now MSU going to be sending in their team captain, Dice, a Falco player, and one thing that Falco has that no other character in this game has, a frame 1 reflector.
Yes.
We Fit Trainer, can start doing push-ups in the corner first and foremost to stay underneath these lasers, but We Fit Trainer going to be throwing a lot of projectiles your way from the corner. When you got that frame 1 reflector, it ain't no worry.
No, absolutely not. Projectiles kind of become a thing of the past right here, but even if I can't play the long game as much as I would like to, Falco has to get up close and personal on We Fit. Right now, as they're going red, kind of not the spot that they want to be in, as historically known. The space animals pretty easy to combo up. Falco, of course, no exception, but I can't help but to understand, like, man, that frame 5 up tilt, the first hit of that, if We Fit jumps improperly, you get caught in that cutscene, you're going to be in some trouble. There's one up there from the other side. F tilt, nice, going to land with Nair.
And that Nair also beats out the soccer ball, the header coming through. Turns it against So Good Pop. So Good Pop got to recover, though, and Dice more than willing to just pop that down B, let the reflector do the talking, but got to be careful with these recoveries, because So Good Pop, I know for a fact if Dice recovers from a little bit too low, he's just going to run off Dare.
Yes, every time. And that Dare Sanju is such an unfortunate angle. You probably won't be able to come back.
Speaking of Dare, though.
It is.
Speaking of Dare, though, I was about to say, Falco, his dare, nothing to sneeze at either. Going to be able to do the exact same thing to So Good Pop if the situations are reversed. And Dice takes first stock in this game. 7 stocks on Northwood University. Their lead has been shrunk to 1.
Yeah, that's kind of the luxury you don't have versus Falco, that, that ability just to run off stage and, go for really any of the aerials. I mean, forward air and near, of course, we've seen those moves claim plenty of stocks here in Smash Ultimate, but the down air as well, too, definitely sending that message home. If you're going to hang out off stage, it best be out there in the magnifying glass. Don't be anywhere by the ledge. Heals a little percent. Header, no setup right now, and again, trying to lean into some of these wonkier hitboxes, the tilt, trying to keep Dice on their feet. Wait a minute, you're off your feet, though. First hit, frame 5. Catches you with that up tilt. Oh, no more down air, as he said.
Yeah, it does not want a repeat of that second stock of this game, but that's exactly what you were talking about, Rod. If So Good Pop gets a little bit careless with his landing specifically, Dice is just going to be sitting there waiting with the up tilt, the cutscene starter. You walked into the boss room and it auto-saved, and you know something's coming.
That's right, the life bar popping up, the cinematic Hans Zimmer music starts playing. You know you in some trouble. Forward throw, off stage. This actually ain't unfamiliar terrain right here for Falco. Pretty okay at recovering back safely, though. Unfortunately, that's a completely different story. Going to heal some percent, and there it is. Sooner or later, you are going to crack under pressure right there in the corner. Was able to catch him with forward air, but I can't help but to feel like So Good Pop's stock right here could be on borrowed time if the right cutscene is implemented.
But So Good Pop already.
Whoa!
Oh, man, yeah, that's what I was waiting for. So Good Pop autopilots that header. Does what he's so used to always being able to do from deep off stage, just throw that header out, because, even if the enemy shields it, nothing much is going to happen, but not with Falco. Falco sends that mess right back and a little bit stronger for good measure, but now, Northwood University, team captain versus team captain, up comes J-Jaw.
The beast is awoken, ready to potentially feast on some souls here. We'll see. It's going to be Kirby.
Kirby versus fast fallers.
Yeah, bro.
That gets ugly.
It gets real ugly real fast. I mean, both sides kind of put each other in the cutscenes. I think the difference is, though, just due to the weight, I think the cutscene at the end of J-Jaw's behalf is a little bit more detrimental than it is on the other side. But Falco, of course, has a lot that they can certainly bring to the table here in this matchup as well.
And especially considering the fact that that Dice still has 2 stocks remaining. Like, So Good Pop definitely came out here, definitely did his job, took the 3 stocks away from the Kazuya and got an extra one on the Falco too. Going positive, always a fantastic thing in a crew battle. It's all you can really ask your teammates to do. Take more stocks than you lose, right?
Oh, yeah.
But So Good Pop, heading back to the huddle, getting ready for game number 2 in this crew battle a little bit later, and J-Jaw stepping up to try and finish off this Falco, force MSU to send out their anchor.
That's right. Got a lot of mess to clean up here. Only 1 stock might not sound like a big deal, but to be this late in the bracket, hey, it doesn't get any later than this.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it right here, my friends. And 1 stock can certainly make all the difference. But I mean, it also could put you in a different space mentally as well too. We have seen players in all versions of bracket play for Smash. When they're in the deficit for some reason, they just kind of play a little bit better. But I guess you never know what you can do until you have to absolutely do it. And we'll see if Dice can maybe rise to the occasion here, get a quick early stock right now on J-Jaw, even it out, and then the slugfest is here because Kirby blessed with some really good normals themselves, of course. Very safe on that nair utilization. Of course, you got the frame 4 down tilt, able to poke in on Falco. We'll see how this goes.
Going to be staying on PS2. Drop off the stage for Dice, and here we go. Let's hear the count from the crowd. And off we go.
There it is, hands off.
And this is the exact same thing that we saw with So Good Pop.
Yeah.
A low profile means Falco's laser can't connect, and neither one of them wants to get cutscene. So I understand.
Yeah, this is look like some old brawl matches. Back in the day, we had some of the Cat and Mewtwo King matches that went the way like this. Neither side moving, and then the minute you overextend, Brawl Meta Knight gets grabbed up. Ice Climbers do what they do, and
look at J-Jaw down in the player cam.
It's kind of okay. Okay, what in the Evo 2018 is this, y'all? Y'all gonna have to press some buttons here soon, all right?
Even the cameraman on PS2, look at the Jumbotron. He's confused too.
Yeah, he's
cameraman doesn't know what to look at.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? I mean, this, as funny as this is, you know what I'm saying, this is definitely in the rules. We're going to have to press some buttons, approach a little bit, something.
I mean, it's a crew battle. You see that timer up at the top right. Time is not a win condition here like it is in normal Smash Brothers. You can't time out in a crew battle. Even if, and I doubt this has ever happened, Rod. I hope it never does.
I hope it never
Even
does.
if you can go to that full 99 minutes.
Should you?
You should not, first and foremost.
That's right.
Even if you do, you still don't win off of it. You just reset stocks and percent.
Yep. It's this is a bit of a different start right here, friends. But I assure you, if you're just tuning in and this is your first time watching, this is
not what we've been seeing so far. Okay.
No, there it is. A little bit of movement. Okay. Taking a hungry box approach, just kind of kicking it at the ledge right now. Oh my goodness! I didn't know they could have low profile.
Low profiles, the reflector too.
Yo. Okay, we're just well, I tell you what. We did see J-Jaw do this on Friday. You know what I'm saying? If you remember, he did kind of kick it at the ledge, and then he went for, the inhale footstool as they pop out. I'm sure Falco, of course, not looking to suffer from the same fate as Fox. So, Dice Spice is the name right now. Okay, you thought I was feeling you.
I saw that during the last game. Not feeling him anymore.
Yeah. Why? Definitely don't want to get munched by Kirby. I completely understand. So
true. You give Kirby that laser?
Oh my God. Yeah. Don't let him have your neutral special. Don't let him have it. Yeah. I mean, I usually try to keep the 99-minute mark limited to Marvel movies. That's where I spend that much time doing things, not Smash matches. But hey, it's not my world they're living in. I'm living in theirs.
You get through half of Oppenheimer in that time too. Like that's. Yeah. I'm not looking to spend all that time in one game of a crew battle, y'all. Let's get this going.
It's feeling very Watchmen Snyder Cuddy right now, man. We're in this one for the long haul. All right, a little bit of damage.
Hey, we got damage.
We got damage, friends.
Next hit wins. Not actually.
Yeah. Could you imagine though? Oh no, yeah.
Okay,
J-Jaw.
J-Jaw in the corner holding neutral B. He's looking to inhale him, take him off stage, wait for the mash out footstool for a KO.
Yes, and I mean, as unfortunate as that would be, that is a method that has been played out since literally the beginning of Smash.
I watched J-Jaw do that like 9 stocks straight versus somebody once at a best of 5. I felt terrible.
Yeah, I remember that part of the Salty Smash compilations.
Yup.
Yeah, the guy popped off. That was pretty bad. I don't know if that guy's still listening, but dang.
Well, I don't know if you watched. I think it was last weekend, unless my sense of time is completely shattered. Cascadia Clash, the Invitational in PNW, where J-Jaw actually got second. But after one of the goofiest sets I've ever seen, which was J-Jaw versus Major. 2 fantastic players, 2 really weird characters in Kirby Ganon. But enough talking about Cascadia, because we finally have a little bit of damage.
Okay. Finally, we'll take it. But again, back to the ledge again. Okay, obviously no surprise there. This is certainly the game J-Jaw wants to play. Gets to trip on the F-tilt. Very smart. Now, of course,
now what did all that waiting do for y'all? Like we're in the same spot that we would have been if you guys had just ran at each other from the start.
Yeah, I think both sides are very mindful of each other's strings and what they get off of each other after one hit. These 2 characters right here, of course, taking no prisoners in the damage department. Going to go for the double up tilt. Finally gets one, getting the first hit at that too. Going to stone Kirby back to the ledge. We're going to play this one out as safely as possible. Up B, back up, bro.
Dice may be looking for a repeat of what he got against SGP, but it ain't going to work out for you this time. The trip into the F smash from J-Jaw going to take another stock away from MSU. 1 stock remaining for Dice's Falco. Can he get anything going against J-Jaw?
That's the $1 million question. I mean, even 1 stock right here at this point could be really good right here for the next set of players that's going to come out, but it's not looking good right now. I mean, here I was thinking that the majority of this match was going to be played at the ledge, and it was trip into F's. Oh, damn.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
Well, now we know why Dice didn't want to approach.
You rolled the dice. Unfortunately.
And it came up once.
Yeah, it came up not good right there. We have all been on the receiving end of a bad dice roll. I'm a Pokemon TCG guy myself. So, yeah, unfortunately, J-Jaw is going to move on.
J-Jaw is ruthless, man. Yeah, he knows his win con. He plays to his win con. And he's got Northwood a 3-stock lead against Michigan State University.
Yes, he does. But again, both sides certainly knew. I mean, we talked about it going into this match, the strings, the cutscenes. I mean, just historically, some of the things that Kirby in the right hands can do to a space animal in the wrong hands. And not to say that Dice was the wrong hands there by any stretch of the imagination. It's just you overextend him properly, and it's just going to be a bad time. But wait a minute right here. If there was ever a player on this team to bring this thing back to slightly more even footing, definitely one of the twins right now.
Yeah, so I was about to say the last remaining players on Michigan State University's roster for this crew battle are going to be Hawk, Arc D or Crash 101, but
Yo.
it looks like we have selected the bird.
The bird.
So Hawk going to be making his way to the stage, probably going to be rocking that Rob, but I don't know how much I like that matchup versus Kirby. Rob does not really struggle all that much to hit low, so we're not really worried about the low-profile shenanigans that we saw during the previous game, especially with, like, you know, crouching under laser. Rob can angle that down. Rob can send the gyro straight at you. Rob can do down tilt, you know, whatever. But he got a big body, and Kirby loves a big body.
Yes, he does right there. He does not look for the wrong options versus a Rob, and I kind of like that a lot too. I mean, you got that down air again, which is really going to keep a Rob on their toes. I'm sure like they probably want to up tilt out of the situation. Still got to watch which way you're doing that versus Kirby down air. Of course, you have the safety of Nair as well too for Kirby, but same turn of breath as I say that about Kirby. Rob with some of the safer aerials too in this game. Now, not quite as fast, but definitely very safe up close. You know, namely speaking about like back air and Nair. So I feel like that's going to be like the primary spacing option. The minute you see Kirby in those red shoes leave the ground, I'm Nairing, bro. So we'll see.
Saw actually yesterday too with Hawk, both in singles and in crews on Friday.
Yes.
Hawk got a lot of dares off the side of the stage, and Kirby, you know, he's got a lot of movement off stage, but none of it's fast.
No.
Right? So if Hawk can get himself into position, he's definitely going to be looking for some early stocks against Kirby. And all right, you know, we are already getting this started. Here comes the dare. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes.
The mini games are present right now, letting them know I'm not Falco, my boy. I don't care what happened in that last match versus Dice, okay? I can hang out off stage. And right now, Hawk with a head full of laser, at least once upon a time ago, looking good right now. Gyro in hand.
Ooh, but chased into the corner already.
Not a spot you want to be in versus J-Jaw. You might want to get out of there for sure. Nice. Going to stone Kirby his way out of there, but message definitely sent. Didn't get any hits, but letting him know I can get up there with you too, my friend. Give me that. I can also eat this too, but I'm just going to take it from you.
I already see some Z-drop nairs too. Like J-Jaw definitely knows how to play with the gyro. 112%. Hawk should be able to take this stock very short amount of time. He just needs the hit. J-Jaw going to do his damnedest to make sure he doesn't connect.
That's right. Of course, it's going to be a very tough thing to have to work around. Again, an F smash. Always with the right F smash reads is J-Jaw. J-Jaw gets the down tilt again, but Hawk with the defensive options able just to scramble out of there. What is going on? Taking the gyro away from him and almost giving Kirby, dare I say, his own projectile. But my goodness, the gyro not there to save you that time. Getting spiked finally at the ledge, which, I'm going to be honest, with how well J-Jaw's been playing, kind of difficult to do. But Hawk, if there's a will, there's most definitely a way.
Hawk still got 5 more stocks to take all on his own, though, if MSU wants to take game number 1 of this crew battle.
Whoa.
Gonna have to, well, keep playing like this if he wants to. You know, Kirby F smash always a little bit difficult to read if it's gonna cross shield or not. Like it's a not fun guessing game for anybody going against a Kirby as good as J-Jaw, but Hawk still coming out on top. Oh, not quite.
Okay, just frames. I'm talking just pixels away too. Not very often you get to see J-Jaw kind of handled like this in the corner. Try to stone his way out of it, but unfortunately getting sent sky high right now. Hawk on the verge right here, even in this thing back up, but not this forwarder has anything to say about it. Obviously, we can't ignore another big elephant in this neutral is that, hey, off stage, no hitboxes on this recovery. Kirby can definitely have his way with me out here. Down throw, up tilt. Woo, cut scene.
J-Jaw already been able to do his job. He took 1 more stock from Hawk. He set up Northwood's anchor for success against him, but you know what? He's not satisfied with that. He wants a little bit more. Got that cutscene combo off on Hawk, brought him up to 61%, and now gonna keep trying to play this aggressive game against Hawk, who's just honestly like trying to retreat, trying to find some space and shield, trying to find a moment to breathe.
A lot of pressure being applied right here. Get Freddie Mercury and David Bowie on the phone. My friend is under pressure right now, and unfortunately just not with the right options to alleviate it. Going to go for the downer into the down smash this time. This is kind of what we talked about going into this match. Those moments where J-Jaw can kind of break the zone that is short hop fair, nair, and back here on Rob's behalf. Once he's in there for a long time. There's the nair, though. Watch those feet leave the ground. I'm nairing. It's safe. And forward on that top platform, we have a faster aerial option, too, just to pressure quickly.
J-Jaw had the right idea, recognizing that Hawk was probably going to roll in, but combination of Kirby's light weight and some bad DI from J-Jaw going to mean that because of the cross-up on the up air, he gets screen KO'd and gets sent out of the first game of this crew battle. Up comes Northwood's anchor.
Wow. Now, I'm going to be honest. You see matchups like this, you see characters like Kirby or the specialists like J-Jaw, and you can't help but to smile a little bit to see a character like this done this late in the Smash Ultimate. But every so often, even as we're, just in utter just disbelief, like, wow, Kirby's doing it, there's certain matches that happen, you're like, yeah, but this is still Kirby. You still need to know your place on the tier list.
He's still a low tier.
He's still a low tier. He's fun to watch. Every so many years, you get a really good one. I believe Ohio had a strong Kirby back in the day that did really well at a Frostbite or a Big House, too. I forget what their name is, but, we're seeing shades of that again, but it's still Rob, bro.
Hey, you know what,
Rod?
Rob? Speaking of Frostbite, you calling out an old tourney.
Hey.
But we got Frostbite stepping up to the plate.
Boom.
Roy coming in to try and combat Hawk. 3 stocks to 2. J-Jaw's giving him a little bit of an advantage. But it's still Hawk, man.
It's still
taking
Hawk.
2 stocks from Hawk, that's not going to be the easiest thing in the world.
Absolutely not. Now, we've seen, of course, their phenomenal doubles play Friday, and I believe they did a little bit of squad strike as well, too. So they have a lot of characters on that utility belt, but they're one of those doubles enthusiasts where, the characters we use in doubles, I use them because my brother and I are just synced up like that. Singles is a completely different story, completely different bag of worms, and I think Hawk is certainly going to prove just that here. Now, unfortunately, like you mentioned, has to drop a stock. J-Jaw was able to sneak one in before they, fell out. But this is still not out of the realm of possibility just yet. Oh, it's Roy, too. This right here could actually go one of 2 very unfortunate ways. You can either watch one side get beat down or one side's going to get taken off stage and smacked up.
We're going to have to see which one comes to pass, Rod, as we get into the final game of this crew battle. Northwood University versus Michigan State University. The first game all comes down to this, but we will have one more crew battle right after.
Oh, yes.
Yo, Hawk, you forgot something
there. Right, he shook his head. I was testing him. I was checking the waters. Okay, the double taunt right there to get the match started. Laser to get it going. Up tilt. Now, this right here is going to be a good one. Roy, of course, kind of suffered from the same thing that we seen Falco suffer from, just the wait. Wait a darn minute. Okay, potentially turning a bad situation to a good one. Loving how he was able to sneak in that back air. Probably won't be able to do that at some later percent.
He's able to sneak in the back air, but hasn't been able to sneak back on stage fully until now. Gets that rising nair to punish with an up air right afterward, and has Hawk trapped on this platform. Hawk's able to get his feet back underneath and on the ground. Quickly fires out with that down tilt, and now, well, we're right back to even, Rod. It looked like it was a Hawk show. Not anymore.
No, absolutely not. Channel's definitely been changed right here. Okay, double edge dance, excuse me, not dance blade. Yes, when in doubt, go for another one. You can catch the roll, and most certainly on Rob, catch a spot dodge, down smash, spot dodge, anything. Rob, of course, a prolific boxer. But what are you going to do? My goodness, about the jab in the corner. That's what you do. You just throw out that back air. And, of course, the pressure is a little bit too much right there for Frostbite. Melting down here, if you will. Up air again. Can I get another?
Well, take a peek at the player cam right now, Rod. When Frostbite lost out on that stock, he was trying to center himself, trying to take a deep breath, because this is pressure. You're talking about in the game. Let's talk about outside of the game. This is the big finale of our crew bracket, and Frostbite with that F-tilt puts MSU on their final stock of it.
That's right. This is the fight of your life right now.
Okay.
Oh, my. Gyro into double edge dance. Love that again. That's kind of a reoccurring trend right here during this block is people taking away that gyro and kind of using it against them. Got to watch where you leave your toys out here on the stage. Okay. Falling up air. Nice. I mean, this is just what you do right here with Roy. Just space really well at the ledge. Now, of course, Roy not quite as long as some of the other sorties, but where he lacks in range, he makes up in footwork, being able to run in and out, kind of being his own projectile, run in and out F-tilt, or even falling up air as well. Can I get another?
Yeah, that time around, though, Frostbite forgot about jab 2. He had a plan to deal with jab 1, not jab 2. Hawk making him pay for it has been having him on the back foot again. Chase into the down smash. We got a last stock situation, Rod. Frostbite, though, Royd might not have the length on that sword, but he's got a whole lot of kill power on that pool noodle. So if Hawk isn't careful in these coming seconds, exactly that might happen one more time, and that'll close out game 1.
Okay, still in this, but for how much longer is the $1 million question? Okay,
no way you go for neutral B in that situation.
I was for sure he was going to go for another double edge dance, but probably in his best interest that he didn't get caught in that animation. Of course, got to watch how that move ends. Okay,
yeah, maybe a misinput, but also maybe a fortunate misinput. Wow. And, okay, coast to coast, still enough. Send him to California because we're going to game 2.
There it is. Potentially third game on the horizon, too, just depending on how this one all wraps up. Great stuff right there on both of those two teams for that game number 1 right there. A very strange one. You know, we had the double 3 stock to kick it off, and then we had the big knowledge matchup check. You know, Suspect came through really big, but So Good Pop said, you know what, got to douse those flames, Mr. Mishima. But right as we say that, then you had JJ and the dice match, which was a different sort of match. I'm going to use those words.
I wasn't paying too much attention to chat, but I know everybody's waiting for Melee to start later.
Yes.
And I know for a fact the Melee players were coming in here going,
question marks?
What's going on in Ultimate?
Yes, that's always, I guess, the question out there on social media.
What's going on in Ultimate?
What's going on? Collegiate Cruise is what's certainly going on right here, and I think with the format that allows this many different players to play, you're going to get this many different types of play styles. I mean, matchups that are going to call for certain things in singles don't quite work the same way in a crew battle. So JJ understanding the assignments, whatever that assignment was, and whatever type of teacher gave that assignment, standing in the corner and saying, hey, you're a space animal. Get close. I'm going to inhale you. Mr. Dice Spice, you're going to get munched on and killed off stage.
Yeah, the interesting thing, too, is that JJ was willing to play that game plan while the timer's not a factor. Because the vast majority of the time, the incentive for a space animal to approach Kirby in that situation is they're up in percent.
Yep.
The timer's going to run out. I'm going to lose the game.
100%.
But doesn't really happen in Cruise. Still worked out for JJ. He was able to, like you said, munch him up, bring in the next person, and still take a couple more stocks. Northwood going to be taking game number 1, in no small part also thanks to the efforts of Frostbite in that anchor fight, because Hawk was looking to make that comeback real.
That's right. I think we've seen a lot of matchups that helped the teams that were losing, and I think that one was certainly another one where, you know, hey, Frostbite, you know, you got the lead right now. You're coming in 3 stocks, probably very comfortable. Roy, I think, is a good anchor to clean up a mess. But also, you know, both sides really handle each other really well. I think off stage, too. We didn't quite see it as much, courtesy of Frostbite's great game plan, his defensive options. But, you know, Roy off stage, kind of not where he wants to be. Past that cape, he's not meant for flying. But same turnaround, though. Rob, once you allow a character designed like Roy or Crom to get in, you got that frame 5 jab in the corner. You have double-edged dance. You have a lot of really quick and very strong options, mind you, and safe, too, if spaced properly on Rob, which is going to really challenge his boxing tools.
Now, coming into game number 2 in our best of 3 on these 4v4 crew battles.
Sure.
These guys are going to have to make a big decision on starters once again. So the starter picks are still double blind. The winning team, losing team for game 1 doesn't get any sort of advantage. But let's recall all the way back to the start of this stream. We opened up with back-to-back 3 stocks.
Yes, we did.
1 from Northwood, 1 from Michigan State. So I wonder if they might just roll the dice and say, let's do it again. Let's see if we can, you know, run the 9-9, see what happens.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm pretty sure, you know, MSU maybe came into this thinking they're probably going to toss out JJ first. That's kind of like what the blanket, you know, analysis was. And then we seen that didn't even happen. You know, they threw out some of the other teammates just to, you know, reassure the Twitch chat out there and the viewers, you know, that we
got more than just JJ,
team, you know what I'm saying? We're not a one-trick pony. And they definitely proved that there. Though that match went a little closer than probably expected, it looks like it's Frostbite to kick off this match here.
But on the other side for Michigan State, that's Suspect walking right back up.
I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, I'm about to say, so last time, Northwood University definitely got the best of Michigan State in the double-blind starter picks, but this time around, Northwood has walked themselves right into Roy Kazi.
Yes, they have, and historically, this has been a rough one for Roy. You're just not quite able to dance around Kazi as well as some of the other fighting game characters, namely because what he's tossing out versus what you're tossing out. Great frame data, great advantage state, but I'm intangible.
Yeah, so
like fighting an assist trophy.
The conversation that I've had with a lot of people when they're like trying to figure out what do you do against Kazuya, the main answer is you don't want to be in a position where your whiff means you get electric.
Yes.
Right? So Roy doesn't really get that option, unfortunately for him. All of his at least good hitboxes, any of his sweet spots are going to be right in that, right up in Kazuya's face, where if he whiffs or if he hits the shield or, you know, if he gets parried the vast majority of the time, he's going to get electric, then he very well might die for it. Off the bat, though, not looking too bad for Frostbite. He gets the first nair and he gets a fair deep off stage, pushes Suspect high, forces the low recovery, but he's not going to be able to get himself in position to go for that 2-frame dare. Absolutely. We saw that a couple of times from Frostbite as well on Friday. Very, very proficient with that sort of style.
Yeah, on top of that, too, just kind of leaning into what makes Roy, but this is what makes Kazuya catching some of these whips. No reset that time, actually electing to go for the grab. Interesting stuff right here, possibly just looking for some safer damage. Gonna go for the flash punch combo off the backboard, and he said, look, I can't give away this positioning, okay, my boy? Whoa! Okay, another flash punch combo in the corner.
Speaking of positioning, though, Suspect having a hard time hitting those follow-up nairs after the electric. just really good mix on the DI from Frostbite so far, like showing proficiency in this matchup. But my man Rod, no amount of proficiency gonna help you with that Rage Drive. First stock goes the way of MSU.
Yes, it does, and unfortunately, this is just kind of the life you pick sometimes when you play a character like Roy. You know, you play so well in the beginning, but then again, well, I was getting ready to say the off-stage thing is kind of like his biggest Achilles heel, but in this matchup right now, it's just unfortunately enough your character design. Okay, guys want to go for the electric and trying to mix him up, catching him again almost with that frame 4 up air. Little off the mark, little mispositioned, but I'm coming through, dropping the leg on him right here.
Yeah, one of the biggest things that like Kazuya players have to learn in order to go from like the mid to high level to the top level is how to just mix up the combos to something that is not real, but you can come up with on the fly. So like in that situation, you see the Roy pops a little bit too high, maybe react with up air, and then continue with a juggle, instead of still going for that nair, forcing the landing out, not getting anything off of it. It's a little bit of percent, but it's not much else other than that, and Frostbite looking for it all with the jab F smash.
Hey, I don't blame him, because I tell you what, man, anybody playing Collegiate would have tried to do the same thing towards you. Right as the Rage Drive was on a lock, was able to get him out of there with double-edged dance. Don't forget who was one of the original Rage monsters in this game, okay?
Absolutely, but notice that Frostbite, every single time he's approaching with Nair on shield, he's either just like hard drifting back after he touches the shield or trying to cross up. And it's been doing him well, but that dare does nobody good except Kazuya.
That's right, doing you no favors, that's for darn sure. Of course, nice. Getting a lot of these neutral grabs right here, right off the ledge. I feel like, again, Suspect trying to mix up the options as they come off the ledge. A lot of times the big brain play is to go for the neutral get-up, but you ain't even coming back to the ledge to rinse and repeat the situation. Love that counter. Frostbite moves on.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't go for that earlier. The big thing about Cruz, you only get to play 3 stocks no matter who you are. So adaptation, it's got to come immediately. You can't make those changes in between games. And if your opponent pulls something out of their bag of tricks, not really gonna give the opponent too much time to make those adjustments. So Frostbite saved it for the last stock. It comes up big, but he could have been doing that the whole time.
He most certainly could, and that's something I always kind of forget about with the Fire Emblem characters is how well they handle other swordies or other characters with large hitboxes on the way up. I mean,
absolutely.
We see it a lot, like we probably see it more with like Sephiroth when those players are playing the character because just how limited I feel like sometimes his options are in neutral. But we don't quite see it as much with some of the other Fire Emblem characters. But I'm glad we're seeing it, with Roy again. I still feel like this character has a firm spot in the meta, kind of, driving home the theory that some of those early meta characters are starting to have a renaissance here 5 years into Ultimate. If not, maybe Roy didn't even really go anywhere.
Listen, man,
Cola and I guess Goblin stayed consistent throughout the majority of the game's lifespan.
And I'm going to say, like early meta characters, late meta characters, we saw 2 Icies in Top Cut here at Riptide this year.
We did.
Meta character, whatever, it doesn't really matter at this point in Ultimate. Like, pick the character that you're proficient with and show your stuff off. Like, that's what really matters. And Frostbite, certainly showing their stuff with the Roy. MSU, you see the huddle at the back right there. They're all gathered around Coach Grayson, trying to figure out who their next player is going to be. It's 10 stocks to 9 right now, Rod. But if Michigan State can't figure it out, can't get this going against Northwood, they're going to go home with the 2nd place, which ain't too bad, but it's not what they're shooting for.
No, absolutely not, especially be playing on the stage championship Sunday. You definitely want to get home with the money and the bragging rights, too. And mind you, your homework at head, isn't really all that difficult. You just got to get 1 stock taken off of Frostbite. Now, I'm saying that very loosely from the perspective of somebody sitting back here on commentary, but I feel like you could go into this match being able to breathe a little easier, knowing that all you got to do is just take just the 1 and you'll be in a good place.
Just the 1, but, it feels like a mountain to climb sometimes. I do believe, and I'm not going to swear by this, I think that's Crash 101. We're going to see in just a second, but if it is Crash 101, they're trading one FGC demon for another. Okay, I am correct. I'm making sure I know my faces.
There you go.
Because that's going to be Terry stepping up to the plate.
Scary Terry is most definitely here, and as strong as they have ever been. Like that character, of course, has never been bad. Piloted by some of the strongest players in the Smash community like Riddles and a handful of others. We're now getting ready to see Crash 101 step up to the stage for the first time today, mind you, as well, and do what they're supposed to do. Now, you have the ability to break zones. You also have the ability to kind of play this long footsies game that most fighting game characters do. I have Crack Shoot, though. When I feel like bursting in, I'm going to come through in a big way. Now, Crack Shoot, of course, kind of detrimental to characters with projectiles. I play Link. I throw Boomerang. He Crack Shoots. I don't have to tell you who wins that one. But, Kaiser, of course, just really having the laser means he's going to have to play up close on Terry. Or Roy, excuse me.
We're going to see it right here, and Crash 101 also certainly no slouch with this character. So, that scared Crash a little bit. Like, he saw Roy jumping at him and was, like, starting to jab, like, okay, wait, what's going on here?
Uh-oh. This ain't good.
Let's get this started.
Okay, now both sides, again, trying to start this thing out in a big way. We've seen Frostbite with these really strong openings, too, despite what the matchup's kind of say for the most part. You know, we know the fighting game characters kind of have their way with Roy and Crom and really most of the fast fallers in this business, but, you know, you can't let them know that. You can't let them know that you're afraid of it. And I think Frostbite, of course, is leaning into the fear factor that Roy has, despite what the matchup says. Love that. Holding down the Pokeball range here. Delay on the double-edged dance, too. I'm getting these swipes in.
And I love that Frostbite has been super confident so far to just hold the shield, gets the down tilt. No jump from Terry is going to mean they have to recover with the up B, but Frostbite doesn't quite position themselves for the dare. It don't matter, though, because they're eventually going to be able to find the Jair to close out first stock, and that puts 4 on the board for Mr. Frostbite.
Courtesy of that frame 5 jab in the corner. Fighting game mechanics or not, when you see a jab that's that good, now I'm able to rinse and repeat up close. You have to respect it. Nothing off the up special, though. Going blue that time, too, so that was the input. Okay. There's that crack shoot, though, again, being able to break that zone. Being able to, threaten the space of your opponent is such a big thing. We see it with Fox, too, in, like, their frame 4 dash attack. You have a move that can just burst right in safely. You got to toss it out. Woo!
And once again, Frostbite done such a good job of parrying all these landing hitboxes from Crash 101. Terry has some mix on shield, but it's all situational, and those situations have yet to arise, especially with how often Frostbite has been able to call it. Grab release that time around. Looking for something here. Has go. Could close this out now, but loses one more stock, and that puts MSU in a worse and worse spot. All right, jab, rising tackle, going to do it.
Okay, and it's one of those KOs where you're like, are they alive? Like, they didn't get sent up quite quick enough, but
the kill screen, it lies too much for us to trust it,
That's right. That's why we have trust issues now, man, amongst other reasons. Great stuff right there. Crash 101 was able to get a stock taken, but unfortunately it came at the cost of one of his. Now, of course, his teammate's going to come on stage and give him some words of encouragement. The job ain't done just yet, and I feel like Terry is certainly an explosive character to have on your team, especially at this spot in the crew battle. I don't know if I want to throw Terry in, for the first match as a blind pick. I feel like as great as a character as Terry is, and a great starter, he could get matchup checked in a lot of ways. Throw him in the middle, let him clean up some mess, or set it up for the next teammate.
Towards the end, too, I feel like Terry could be a potentially amazing anchor. He's not the heaviest in the world.
No.
He doesn't live the longest like a character like K. Rool or Bowser.
Sure.
But he got that go meter.
Man, bro.
And, when you're in a last stock situation when you need to make some stocks evaporate to make a comeback, nothing's better than F-tilt Buster Wolf or a couple, power geysers on the ledge to take away some early stocks. So Crash 101, lost a stock against Frostbite, gave Frostbite that positive KD, but could go positive himself too. Like it's definitely not off the table, especially depending on who Northwood ends up sending in next.
Right.
See them off to that left side. They're in the huddle as well. They're getting ready. You know what? I said a heavy character like K. Rool. I honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see maybe Copel make their presence heard.
I was just getting ready to say, Copel hasn't played at all yet. And I'm kind of here for it. I feel like if there's ever time to send him in versus a fighting game character, it's definitely not once you have that stock lead a little bit. You have a little bit of weight to throw around. However, though, these fighting game characters, say what we want about their weight and how quick they move and whatever, they pack quite the punch. And as big as K. Rool is, actually it don't get no bigger than K. Rool in this game.
Only Bowser's got him beaten weight.
That's right. I just can't help but to feel like, man, one power geyser done properly, one rising tackle done properly. I mean, I just don't know, man. You just kind of turn K. Rool into a punching bag.
And we're going to have to see. Copel, though, one of the best performers of any of the collegiate players in singles as well, came inches away from sending Aaron to loser's bracket. Now, after defeating Aaron, after defeating Copel Game 5, has moved on all the way to winner's side top 16. So, nobody else gave him quite the run for his money as Copel did. Copel still did a fantastic job down in losers as well. But we're going to have to see. Northwood still deliberating. So good Pop going to his chair. It's not going to be so good Pop.
Okay, both sides just kind of rotating down. They're trying to figure out what the best play is versus
Nobody wants to fight Terry.
Nobody does.
Oh, it is so good Pop. All right, here he comes.
Okay, no worries. Okay, what's being shown?
What is?
Hey, I like this. Was that a seal or was that a platypus?
A little
what was
seal.
that? Okay.
Little baby seal. And you know what? They're they're replicating the GIF on Discord.
No.
A little handshake in. So Good Pop stepping up to the plate. So we're gonna see Wii Fit Trainer again. And you know what, Rod? We were talking last crew battle. A good middle character for any crew, Wii Fit Trainer, because stocks, they just go flying when she's on the screen.
They most certainly do. Now, the one thing that I am worried about that Terry has, that Kazuya has, that Ken and Ryu don't quite have, again, is that ability to threaten space. And that right there is going to be the biggest difference maker, I think, in a Wii Fit match, where this character kind of wants to disengage, wants to back off, wants to get my couple hits in. Again, my tilts are very wonky. You probably aren't ready. I get my hits, I get out. The problem is, though, if you do not disengage far enough, I'm back in your face again with it. Crack shoot, come through, down tilt, -6 on shield. Well, I'm going to be honest, you don't really got the buttons for me, but you still have the advantage of one stock lead.
And here's the thing. First and foremost, Kalos as the stage pick here for So Good Pop. A lot of space to work with for Wii Fit Trainer and those side platforms to escape to if Terry starts to pressure you in the corner. Second, guess what Crack Shoot doesn't go over the top of?
No,
header.
It does not.
You cannot jump over the header with the Crack Shoot like you can a good chunk of projectile. So that is a huge detriment to Terry in this matchup if So Good Pop plays his cards right. And let's be real, Raj, So Good Pop always plays his cards right.
Yeah, he's definitely top decking the right way right here. I'm going to keep it a complete stack with you right now, especially with this much real estate on Kalos. You have the ability to really, really disengage. And, of course, Terry, not the most ambiguous character with his approach. When you see him running towards you, know kind of what he wants to do. The problem is that it's just that damn good that how do I stop him from doing it? But this is how you do it, though. You play the long game. Crack shoot, of course, a little off the mark, ends up eating a neutral special header off stage. Ooh. That's yours, bro. It's tech and volleyball right now.
Burning Knuckle, though, just barely saving Crash 101. It's going to allow them to just punch the soccer ball right back Wii Fit's way. The punishment has not ended, though, and that is the scary thing. These landing nairs from So Good Pop doing such a good job of getting Crash 101 just like into the air where So Good Pop can play.
The yoga guy's having her day right now. And it's looking powerful as ever. Can heal a little bit. Power guys just to send a message. Ain't gonna be able to play out here for long. Now we did see him lose a match, lose a stock, in the last set that they played versus each other when it was him versus Suspect, kind of kicking at the ledge a little bit too much versus Kazuya. Nice. Okay, gets the nair. Crossing him up, rising tackle, doesn't get anything off of it.
It's Kalos. That high top blast zone is going to mean that jab, rising tackle, or even up tilt rising tackle aren't going to kill as early as they would on, say, like a small battlefield type stage. So Good Pop, gonna live to see another day, and very, very well might take this stock here.
Oh, okay, the cancels. With the goal meter, though, too, that's always something you have to keep in the back of your head. Okay, so I'm power dunking back through, bro. You better move. Our games are not getting anything off of it, but again, the corner pressure, very good, even from multiple character lengths away, too. Not going to be able to stand up there on that platform forever, but that's okay. This is Wii Fit. I can just jump off stage in a way where Terry really can't get to me. Now, on stage, completely different story. You tried it. Whoa!
Not safe on shield in the slightest. Like, Buster Wolf, despite like how it looks during the actual animation, it's not a command grab.
No.
You do that on shield, you usually die for it, but not this time around. And So Good Pop, pushes the stick the wrong way, and now pushes the stick straight into the blast zone as Power Geyser finally connects, and Crash 101 is at least able to take one stock off of one of Northwood's best players.
That's something we see Riddles do quite a bit, double down tilt in the corner to either just like Burning Knuckle or the Power Geyser, but that's always something you have to keep in the back of your mind. Up air from underneath gets it done, but not without taking a stock on the way out. Crash 101, making it just that much easier for the next teammate to mount this victory.
Yeah, with an up air, all it took to close it out. So Good Pop probably actually a little bit upset that it had to happen after and not before the Power Geyser.
Yeah.
Could have set up that situation a little bit sooner and conserved that stock, but it is still 8-6, a pretty significant lead for Northwood University, as they also lead in the overall set 1-0. So, right. Michigan State going to go into the huddle once more and figure out which one of their players they're going to send against So Good Pop. Because guess what, Rod? Dice did a fantastic job of dealing with SGP last time, but Dice deals with SGP, and guess who's going to come out right after?
Oh, that's true.
It's going to be J-Jaw once again, and that is a risk for the Michigan State University squad, because they know that if they use Dice to deal with So Good Pop's two stocks, they're basically kind of just throwing him to the wolves.
Yes.
And I don't know if they want to do that.
I don't know if that's in their best interest as well. Of course, Northwood just armed to the T. Great teamwork, and of course, great team synergy is something that I think has kind of elevated them, to this portion of bracket. Now, with this lead, Curious to see what Michigan State's going to bring to the table. Of course, you still have the twin phenom himself, Hawk, in your back pocket with Rob. Don't know if I want to do Rob, though, versus Wii Fit. That sounds like a nightmare. Looks like we're going to send somebody else in, probably keeping them in the back pocket for later.
I believe this is Arc D stepping up to the plate. So we saw a little bit earlier in game number 1, we saw Northwood's Palutena Extraordinaire. Well, this is Michigan State's turn.
Yes.
You know, sending in that character that can deal with it all, has tools to take care of anything that you throw at her. Palutena, you know, she can get it done. They don't want to throw, they definitely, like I said, don't want to throw dice into the jaws of J-Jaw.
No, that would be unwise. That's for darn sure. Palutena, again, I think is a very middle-of-the-pack character as well as a starter and an anchor. She's one of the few characters that can play all roles in this set. Now, you got Nair. You have the ability to space and really slow the match down to a crawl with, like, Explosive Flame, back air, all her really safe options that we have all grown to love, I guess, for lack of better words. But curious to see how this is going to work in conjunction with the character that sometimes doesn't even need to approach, bro.
Right, absolutely not. But, you know, Palutena, she also has her own tools to deal with that zoning. She's got Auto Reticle, she's got Explosive Flame, and she also even has a counter that reflects right back at you in the worst of cases. So, you know, we'll see what the game plan here is, but off the bat, Sun Salutation, it wins that matchup against the Auto Reticle, and it's so good pop that's off to the early start.
That's right, off to the races indeed right now. Courtesy of again, this is great movement and just the ability to disengage at will. Of course, the pressure getting too thick is not unlike a Palutena to apply the pressure early on. Just back off a little bit and let her swing. Nair is good. A lot of her moves are good, and some of them are relatively safe, but there are gaps in the neutral where you can find space for advantage. There's that down tilt, though. And again, this is one thing that I have noticed about So Good Pop is that they lean into maybe the aerial drift and just the aerial mobility that Wii Fit has a little too much. Don't want to kick it at the ledge. Don't want to run into down tilt. Doesn't seem to matter, though. We get an early stock right now, and we're cutting this thing a little bit closer.
Yeah, So Good Pop right here saying, who you grabbing? Check out my grab. You whiff one grab, and this is what I'm going to do to you. Already one stock taken, and second one follows shortly after. So Good Pop coming up massive for Northwood University. Only 4 stocks left for Michigan State.
That's right, send them right down to Hades there, right? Wow, that was just a complete turnaround from what we've seen at the start of this.
No way.
Okay, yeah, you're trying things right now. Okay, so that's the stuff you do when you have to leave.
No!
Not like this. So Good Pop with the crazy start and the even more electrifying finish, taxing platform out into the blast zone. A masterclass of how to play Wii Fit Trainer right there.
And Arc D's gone. We didn't even get back to the camera before Arc D was off that stage. Was that even a minute?
Bro, that was Summer Games done quick. My goodness, getting speed ran right now. And of course, you can bet your bottom dollar Hawk is here. Have no fear. We're going to try to clean up this mess right here that my teammates set up for me.
Man, Rod.
My God.
Hawk, a phenomenal player. A great doubles player, too. But it's 3 stocks to 8 right now.
Bro, I mean, this is, you got your work cut out for you, if I may say so myself. No J-Jaw needed as well. I know we talked about how just destructively even, you know, Team NU is.
Even you know, Northwood scouting program's so good, even Town and City plays for them the way that game ended.
Man, bro. Wow. Got the developers on your side right there. I mean, what else can you ask for? Hawk, of course, has quite the journey here ahead of him. I expect them to do pretty decent right here in this matchup. I think, you know, Rob, you know, backed against the corner. I have to approach, get aggressive. I probably don't want to play the long game, but I'm going to have to get up close and press some buttons, and I think Rob can do just that.
It's going to have to be like 8 double tosses, you know? Like, and if a Rob's going to do it, it could be Hawk, right?
It's going to have to be Hawk.
8-0 to deaths coming up hot. Right now, we're going to get into this potentially final game. Can So Good Pop just absolutely clear? How many stocks is that for SGP? That's what, 5?
5, bro.
Yeah.
5. And I mean, honestly, with the way that last game wrapped up, it felt like double the stocks. I mean, that was just a definitive butt kicking.
Each one of those counted for 2, right? Like, So Good Pop actually at 7.
Mm-hmm. Okay, game on right now between these two talented individuals. So Good Pop sitting very comfortable with 2, and then with, of course, other players in the pocket after them. Hawk right now trying to force the advantage. There's the back throw right to the forward. Right as header gets started as well, too. You can tell Hawk has been watching So Good Pop's gameplay off stage. Whoa, there's the down there. Got to keep in mind, no hitbox, not recovering. Down tilt.
Little reset.
Okay.
Pops him up with the F smash, now off stage again. But unlike with most other characters, Wii Fit Trainer, she's pretty comfortable just staying out there. Gets deep breathing charged up with the space given, and that's something that you like have to keep in mind. You know, when you're comboing Wii Fit Trainer, you actually want to try and keep them on stage or on platform to just keep resetting like text. That way they don't get that space to set it up. But ain't no more space left on this second stock as Hawk closes it out with the up air.
On the topic of setups, the setups don't get no deadlier than they do when it's, you know, Rob just, again, down throw, up tilt, up air. Hell, sometimes just even down throw, up air is enough to get the job finished right now. With the gyro in hand, though, this is something that Hawk kind of struggled with in the last game, and I feel like was kind of his, you know, ultimate undoing was the fact that you're able to take his gyro away from him and know exactly what to do with it. You don't know exactly what the setups are with Wii Fit, and honestly, I'm a little afraid to find out, and it doesn't look like we're going to find out here for too much longer. Hawk right now just putting on a clinic in the corner, magnifying glass gameplay on the lock. There's down tilt.
So Good Pop surviving that interaction bodes not the worst for Hawk, but he needs to make sure that he takes the stock before So Good Pop does, because if Hawk has to go into 2 players with 1 stock for each of them, it's not looking great.
No, absolutely not. Okay, of course, the man
right,
definitely going to pay off for a down tilt at the ledge. There's one.
And given how the last game went, I'm kind of scared for Hawk still here. So Good Pop very well might take another before he bids farewell.
Okay, Z-drop. It's actually going to throw it down there that time. I need the trajectory, and I need it now. Nothing off the down there, but we have seen So Good Pop down there once before. Up tilt. Okay, boxing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going good. Okay.
Just duffs him. The haymaker coming through from Rob with that F tilt. Socks him in the jaw, sends him off stage, sends him out. So Good Pop going to head back to the huddle. 6 stocks, though, for Northwood, and Hawk only has 2 to his name. Not a fortunate situation.
I think even Hawk knows it as well, too.
Nice, shaking the
right
head.
Now. That's right. He's from Michigan. He's in 8-mile mode right now. Hoodie on. Hopefully those hands ain't sweaty, though. We'll see how this goes. Going to reconvene, reconnect with the team right now. See what the plan of attack is. Of course, I'm locked in
Check in with
on
his
Rob.
brother, too, there. I see Linus out there.
That's right. See what the plan is right now. I mean, who do we send in? Of course, we don't want a rinse and repeat of, you know, what Kirby can bring to the table. And even as destructive as Kirby can be once they break the zone of Rob, this is still Rob. This is still a character that can put you back into your spot on the tier list.
Yeah, Northwood right now, like, they've got a huge advantage. But they need to keep in mind it's not over till it's over. They've got 6 stocks. Those 6 stocks could disappear in an instant if Hawk is on point. So they got to send their best. We're going to see who they send in to deal with Rob, and of course, Rod. Who else could it be?
You already know,
but J-Jaw, J-Jaw.
It's J-Jaw to the J-Jaw, getting ready to do the damn thing here. And again, those normals, I mean, obviously the boxing game, I feel like it's a little bit more into Rob's advantage. But Kirby, of course, not without good options up close, too. We've seen how good that down tilt was, whether, you know, sets up for F smash or just trips and it forces me to cross you up, back, or whatever. Once I see you fall on your butt, J-Jaw said that's where I start to attack. So let's see how it goes right now. Hoodie on. Oh, my goodness. Headset on.
Headset on top of the hoodie.
Wow.
Yeah,
he's in a movie we don't know about right now. We're his background character.
You ever worn it like that? It's comfy.
Is it really?
It's real comfy. I'm a proponent of the hood up headset over top of it.
Okay. I'm about to lock in, man, on that flight back home. I got a long journey back to Nebraska. We'll see.
All right. Well, Hawk definitely showing the validity of the theory here. He's swapping on to Green Rob too.
Okay.
Pulling out the dumpster because he's looking to put Northwood in it. Nah, not actually. All right.
I thought we were going to get the mean green machine, but now it's like we're switching back over to some of the colors we have known to love on Rob. Here it is. Hawk right now, of course, with the battle of his life, has to get through J-Jaw, who I feel like statistically on Team Northwood has taken quite a few stocks. I don't know who's taken more between him and So Good Pop, but they have definitely done their damnedest right here to put MSU in the ground. I
don't think it happened here at Riptide 2023 this year. But I know in a couple of the regular season matches that some of these teams are playing, I'm like 99% sure that I've heard of J-Jaw sweeping entire teams by himself. Like, that's just the kind of player that he is.
Yeah, it's not uncommon, man. I remember doing the Philly esports thing a couple years ago, and a gentleman by the name of Ice on Deck sold an entire team with Min. So, yeah, it is possible. J-Jaw, of course, cut from a very similar cloth right now, but Hawk, of course, no slouch at all. Okay, possibly was, went for the gyro into the forward air that time. Probably not the right % to go for side B. And honestly, you don't really quite get the advantage of having Kirby off stage like you probably do on other characters. Kirby lives out there.
Absolutely. Looking for the
here.
Inhale, but yeah, okay, Hawk a little bit too wise for that. And, you know, during the last crew battle, when these two faced off, Hawk knew Hawk knew that J-Jaw was going to roll out there, covering it with up smash. Last time around, he was able to get quite a few kills with the up air as well, recognizing that, okay, if I cross here, J-Jaw doesn't quite know the DI as well as he might need to deal with somebody like me. So Hawk looking to play that exact same game plan.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Between a rock and a hard spot or a gyro and a rob, you name it, whatever the case may be, you're somewhere where you don't need to be right now. Hawk making potentially quick work right here. J-Jaw, the normals I was talking about before, looking like a non-factor here. No down tilt. Quick frame 4 option on Kirby's behalf. It ain't happening. Getting spun on and getting done on right now is the down smash, courtesy of Hawk.
Quite enough, though.
Oh.
J-Jaw surviving just barely, though. Going to be able to make it back up onto the stage. Actually, make it to the ledge. Got to actually find a way onto the stage because Hawk is guarding this ledge like his life depends on it. A spike and no more resources for J-Jaw. He goes into the blast zone. Hawk, right now, is only at 103%. Might be living quite a bit longer.
I'm going to tell you right now, he takes this stock and beats J-Jaw. J-Jaw definitely, I'm going to be real, Northwood got something to worry about.
Northwood got to be scared all of a sudden.
Okay, getting 2 taken right now. It just has to get 1 more, but the match starting to get away from him just a little bit here. Okay, forward on the answer back after back air on shield. Okay, this is clean now. Okay, in between. Yeah, I need it. You better take it this time.
Pick that up. Make that yours.
Because, my goodness, you took so much % off of that. Okay, nice down tilt. Not your turn. Quick frame 3 option. I'm jabbing, my boy. I'm down tilting, rather. What's going on?
These resets onto the platform coming up huge for Hawk. J-Jaw now, though, trying to get in on his shield, and unsuccessfully so. Hawk, so good in this game at knowing when to be defensive, when to hold back, when to sit and shield, and when to go in with stuff like these down tilts. He's going in with the down tilts right now. He gets a down throw, but J-Jaw's mash like his life depends on it because it does, Rod. And J-Jaw is able to connect with that back air to take the stock away from Hawk. He's on to 1. He's only got 1 left, and it all to do.
That's right. Down to no, not like this. I'm vibing.
Not like that. Not like that. Not like that.
No. You gonna have to face me the right way. I ain't dice. Okay. I don't play a space animal. Okay.
I got the fuel to make it back from anywhere.
Yes, that's big facts. Okay, Stone Kirby is way back down here. If he can get this stock taken, he can close this one out. Okay, almost with the down air. Okay, we did see him take a stock in the last game like that. You know, kind of catching him in the beginning animation of up special.
Up throw should kill here, and it does. A star KO. And Hawk, somehow, some way, has brought us all the way from 8-3 down to 3-1.
Wow.
He's taken 5 stocks, but he's got to take 3 more.
Playing with the spirit of the entire school running through his veins right now. Certainly Team MSU's MVP, no matter how this one wraps up. It is Rob that he's locked in on, but who is this coming up?
That's Zai stepping up once again. We haven't seen him since the start of the very first crew battle. But if you'll recall, Rod, we've been harping on it because it was so insane. A 3-stock opened up game number 1. So Hawk definitely going to go back and confer with Coach Grayson, going to go confer with Linus, going to go confer with the rest of the team and make sure he knows what's what.
Has the fight of his life here ahead of him right now. Again, Rob, a very good character. I think another character kind of cut from a similar cloth like Palutena where, you know, you're good in the beginning. If you need me to have a really strong opening, good in the middle. I can also anchor it. We're seeing that theory kind of come to fruition right now here with Hawk. But, again, I can't ignore the glaring elephant in the room right here in this set is that one side has 3 stocks while the other one has 1 now. Some players play better from behind. They're like, hey, my back's against the wall. I'm going to come out swinging times 2. And that could throw off even the strongest of opponents. We've seen that in singles and doubles and all other formats. But this is different right now. A lot of bragging rights, most importantly, on the line here. Let's see if Hawk can rise to the occasion and reset this thing.
And you want to be able to, you know, your Monday morning, your 8 a.m. class, walking with that medal on. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see which one of these schools is going to have the honor. Both of them sitting down at the setup, getting ready to get locked in. Who's going to be their side's hero? We're on our anchors.
All right. Both sides getting it locked in right now. Hovering over Pokemon Stadium 2. That seems to be kind of the reoccurring trend here in terms of stage picking. We didn't see any of the other ones like, you know, Hollow Bastion. You know, we've seen, I guess, Kalos maybe once or twice.
We saw Kalos with SGP, Soga Pop loving to go to that stage for the extra space that it affords Wii Fit Trainer. But, this one's just going to be PS2.
PS2 right here. Good old-fashioned stage pick to potentially close this thing out on one side here. Not exactly sure who's going to take it. Don't want to call it just yet. I mean, statistically, it's not looking good for Team MSU, but we have seen crazier comebacks.
Well, this would be up there with some of the craziest of comebacks, though. An 8-stock to 3 comeback from MSU and by MSU Hawk. Let's see how this ends. No matter what, Rod, this will be the final game
Yes,
of
sir.
this crew battle. But, you know, if Hawk does this, we get one more 4v4. So let's see. Let's find out. Let's get into it. Let's get it going.
Let's lock in, my friends. We are at the character select screen. Palutena, Rob, two characters that we should be very familiar with if you watch any bit of Ultimate. But let's see if these two young men can bring something a little different to the table here to throw the other side off. Final game here, potentially. Okay. That's right. Hawk has to drop two.
I didn't forget like he did during the last crew battle.
Yeah, no, he was ready, wasn't he?
One more. One more stock. There we go. All right.
There it is. Take your gyro with you.
Let's count it off. And here we go.
Okay, off to the races we are. Gyro right here. Quick early on the setup. Auto reticle, not getting anything off of it. Both sides just got to turn this into a Western shootout.
And you know, it's the same thing that we saw during the last crew battle. Like when the stakes are this high, you do not want to be the one who goes in first and makes the first mistake. First mistake, though, certainly goes to Hawk. Zai able to turn that first nair into a cool 51% until finally Hawk is able to win neutral and get that first hit.
Of course, another explosive flame. Right here, just trying to pin him down in the corner. That's one thing I think Palutena is really good at. You know, she can just use auto reticle and explosive flame to condition you on your approach, and then once you start approaching aggressively, that's the game she wants you to play. You touch her shield, it's down throw city, it's a bad time. There's short hop nair, explosive flame up air, nope.
And you're talking about down throw city. We in nair city right now. That's been the vast majority of Zai's damage so far throughout this game. Yeah, and teleport right, get off that platform. Sticky platforms in Ultimate a problem for a lot of characters to deal with. They're difficult to play around. They're difficult to fall through without getting caught by something, especially if your opponent's standing right underneath. So Zai just teleports all the way across the stage. That ain't going to matter when you're getting grabbed by Rob, though. This is still a very scary spot to be in.
That's right. Hawk right now setting himself up to potentially take a stock here with how well he's just chasing Zai down. I mean, again, Zai, of course, definitely holding her own here in this match, but I can't help but to feel like Hawk right now is just really imposing his will, namely because he kind of has to right now. Okay, nice. Going to go for the gyro toss down. No aggressive get up off the ledge. Head full of laser here. There it is. Need a little bit of space right here.
Well, this is going to be difficult for Hawk to make it back to the stage. Rob has a great disjointed up air to cover, but guess what? Disjointed up air doesn't do much if Palu's not putting herself in the line of fire at all. She's just using explosive flame. She's just using auto reticle. So Rob, one of his biggest, you know, safeguards on his recovery, doesn't really function all that well in this matchup. Sending that gyro right back at him. Hawk 122. It's getting grimmer and grimmer, and with that up smash, Northwood University is your Riptide 2023 Collegiate Cruise Champion.
What a way to close that out. Gyro kind of looked like it was his undoing there. We don't really get to see up smash tossed out a lot, at least not in singles. You know, maybe sometimes we see it in the corner, you know, trying to catch the get up option off the ledge. We definitely see it in doubles a lot. But wow, talk about saving the best for last in terms of utilization on that Palutena. Clean stuff right there to Zai.
Yeah, and comboing into it with the gyro too. That's like the mark of somebody who's fantastic at the Rob matchup, is somebody who can take one of Rob's biggest assets and turn it into a tool of your own. Zai does just that in that situation, and as a result is going to take it. It was only one stock, right?
Yes.
Like Zai only needed to take one stock, but it was maybe one of the most important stocks in the entire cruise bracket.
That's
so
right.
once again, congratulations to Northwood University. A fantastic job. The whole team, J-Jaw, so good pop. Copel, Sensational, who we actually didn't get to see in the final, unfortunately. Zai and Frostbite all doing it big in this whole bracket, going, I think, undefeated.
Undefeated. Big shout out to Zai, of course, just showing up in the 11th hour in a time where you might think, hey, I'm 3 stocks to 1. What's the worst that can happen? Well, we have certainly seen the worst.
We saw the worst that could happen.
And historically, I've been to Michigan quite a few times. I remember back at the Big House, whatever, back in the day, we had was it Michigan versus somebody crew battle. We had Rayquaza at the tail end of it and, you know, kind of fumbled the bag at the final hour of a crew battle. So maybe it was USA versus the world. I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, like we've
we've
all seen a couple USA versus the world, a couple, you know, NA versus Japan. When the stakes get high, things fall apart.
That's right. The pressure is definitely on. But hey, you know, pressure makes diamonds, and chances make champions right here. Big shout, of course, to Team Northwood. They were kind of the favorite to win this, but, of course, it did not come without a challenge. You know, Team MSU definitely did the damn thing, and Hawk, of course, definitely the MVP.
Yeah,
obviously, his team didn't win, but I think he's definitely the MVP of this entire collegiate grand final set that we've seen.
Yeah, Hawk actually, I was talking to Grayson a little bit earlier. Hawk, a fifth-year senior right now. This is his final semester of college. Will be graduating soon, so we'll be saying farewell to the MSU squad. The freshmen going to have to step up very soon. They're gonna lose their star, but looking at this Michigan State University roster, I have no doubt that they'll be just fine.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, super excited. And, of course, again, big congratulations to Team Northwood, and big shout out, of course, to MSU as well, too, for making it all the way to second place. Great stuff. Definitely don't want to take anything away from them on that. I believe do we have some ads before we get up out of here, production?
All right,
so it's going to be ad slides. So, friends, with that in mind, that's how it's going to conclude the Collegiate Grand Finals. Last, as always, it's a pleasure doing this with you. Of course, Collegiate Education Smash is definitely the future, and I'm glad Riptide 2023 is highlighting that the best way they know how. Big shout out, of course, to Chase Booker. Dude, I can't stress enough how great he is and how wonderful he is
dealing
for
with all
organizing
the,
because, dude, you couldn't pay me enough to do it.
No, like dealing with I think 16 full crews, rowdy college kids, right? Dealing with so many tie breaks throughout the day. 17. There was an extra one. Okay. So dealing with 17 crews full of rowdy college kids, actually, and also like so many tie breaks that happen, so much bracket weirdness that happened with the round robin groups. Like Booker did it huge, did a fantastic job, got us all the way here to the finale where Northwood was able to take it. So
that's right.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us to crown Northwood as the champions. I've been Last. This has been Rod. We're probably going to toss it over to the mainstream, BTS1, where Rivals top